Hello and good morning. This is Scott. Welcome to the meditation live stream. I hope you're doing well. I'm in the middle of, I think, a kind of inner transformation. And I think that I'm in a good place with which to broadcast today. Yesterday I was kind of working through some material. And I still practice, but I think sometimes it's important to not put everything out on the internet when you're in particular states of consciousness. And as we travel, sometimes we get into some underworld type material in us, and that begins to surface and offer up its discomfort or its lessons, and when you're in that space, I think the internet is useful to not broadcast on, so that you can take time to really integrate the experience that you're having, sort of really truly digest what is going through you or happening. And I can share with you a little bit of the gold, I think, from the experience, which is that in meditation work, we see a distinction, or at least now I see a distinction between release and relaxation. And I think in the modern world we want to relax. And so we relax and therefore put no effort. We reduce our effort. And that may be good at the end of the day, to learn to relax so that you can naturally perform the functions of sleep. But really, release is different in meditation. And I think release is better because it's really about a different kind of relaxing, because it's areas in us that through self-awareness, we become in contact with resistance. And when we release, dissolve, soften, I like to use the phrase soften, the energy begins to move into that space and flow through. And it increases the movement of the energy. And this is useful because there are things within us that we are not aware of from our own doing and from, who knows, countless lifetimes throughout the vehicle of the body, your nervous system. And it is really a spiritual work to deepen our ability to soften and open to this space, not only the space of our body, but the surrounding environment space. So here on my channel, naturally, we are doing a form of this work, which is working with the different dimensions of our being, our body, our emotion, our mind, and in our relational dimension. And we begin to transmit to ourselves and each other more of a wholeness. And that wholeness is useful for the world, because the world and spirit would like for more and more wholeness. We know from great thinkers, this is true, that we want to have more understanding, total understanding. And we'll, use technology to do that. But from a spiritual perspective, totality is more about wholeness. It's more about understanding others and other perspectives we may or may not agree with, and becoming less and less fragmented, less and less disjointed, and more present. And so that's what we do here on my channel. And before we begin the practice, I would like to read from the Tao. And this is the Tao translated by Damo Mitchell. And it was written a long time ago, but this is a more recent translation from an internal alchemist. And I like his translation so far. We're more than halfway through. So I'm going to read maybe 2 of these today. And when you listen to them, I want it to feel like kind of like a pointing out instruction for meditation. It gets you in the divine, more in the divine mood. So we're on we're on number 45, Perfect Imperfection. The greatest perfection often seems incomplete, yet its use is never exhausted. The greatest fullness seems empty, yet it cannot be drained. The straightest truth appears crooked, the finest skill appears clumsy, the most eloquent speech seems hesitant. Movement overcomes the cold, the stillness calms the heat. By serenity, the whole world is brought to order. Number 46, Contentment. When Tao prevails under heaven, horses are used in the fields to plow and fertilize. When Tao is lost under heaven, war horses are bred at the borders. There's no greater curse than not knowing contentment, no greater misfortune than being driven by grasping desire. Thus, only those who know contentment with contentment will remain truly content always. Being content with contentment. Very good. And we'll start now with the eyes closed. Begin to tune inside. And we'll practice with some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Allowing your belly and your chest to expand and contract. Allowing your breath to reach all the way down to your pelvic floor, legs, and feet. Very good. We'll do 3 more. Great. And letting your breath now return to your usual way of breathing. Begin to tune into your body and its sensations. Feeling the tingling, pulsing sense of aliveness subtle movement, energy, and temperature. And you can begin the practice of feeling and softening, feeling the earth underneath your body's contact with the earth. And practice softening on out breath, down through your body and into the earth, kind of like a breath wave. In breath, feeling your body. Out breath, softening, melting down through your body into the earth like warm honey. And everywhere that the honey touches as it travels down through your body is cleansed, healed, purified, made whole. And as it melts down through your body, it travels deep into the earth where that energy is transformed, transmuted, and recycled. And each cycle of breath, you get a little bit closer to your body and melt just a little bit deeper into the earth. Just feeling and softening. your attention up now into your heart. We'll spend some time in our hearts together. You can, if you like, breathe in and out of your heart. You can place your hand there. That's what I like to do to sort of activate. And in breath, feeling your heart. Out breath, softening, expanding your heart. Your heart's almost like a sun or a flower, or both like a sunflower. Gently coming in contact with your emotions. You can notice what's present for you emotionally right now. And without making your emotions this or that, right or wrong, good or bad, just allowing yourself to feel what's present for you right now. You could be feeling any of the 5 main cardinal emotions like anger, sadness, fear, joy, or shame. And just noticing what's present for you right now and allowing yourself to feel a little bit. You could also be feeling numb, which is another valid emotional experience. If you like, you can add in a pause at the end of your out breath when practicing feeling into your heart space. You can, on the in-breath, feeling into your heart, and then on the out-breath, softening and opening your heart. And then at the end of the out-breath, you can pause and feel into the heart space, the energy field of your heart. And practice letting go in that pause, softening. Great. And then bringing your attention up now into your head, feeling your head on the in-breath. And softening in and around your skull. You can, if you like, breathe into your third eye space between your eyebrows, or the top of your head, your crown, and just feeling and softening in and around your head. And coming in contact with your thoughts, you can notice how busy and active your mind is. Sometimes in meditation, your mind is like very busy. Sometimes it's more open, calm, and peaceful. Either way, this doesn't make a meditation good or bad. What you can do is always come back to feeling your head, your body, the earth underneath you for grounding. When you notice you get pulled into a thought, you can always come back to feeling your head and your body, the earth. When in doubt, come back to your body. And you can add in, if you like, the pause. In breath, feeling your head. Out breath, softening your head. And then at the end of the out breath, between the next in breath, a pause of opening and sinking to the spaciousness of your mind. Almost as if your whole head disappears and the entire sky is resting on your shoulders. we'll spend a little time with our eyes open, gently opening your eyes and allowing the work you did to remain present and not evaporate. And we'll practice with feeling the relational space. So we have an outside and an inside. And this allows us to practice feeling outside into the environment or someone else, and then back inside to ourselves. Very useful for relationships. So what you do is on the in-breath, feel around you, the space around you. And the out-breath, feel the space inside you. And just noticing the difference between the two. Feeling inside and then outside. And you can, if you like, look at something nature made, that Mother Nature made, like a tree or a mountain. And practice feeling outside on the in-breath and then inside on the out-breath. if you like, you can add in qualities to the practice of inside and outside. The qualities of love, compassion, and gratitude. You can pick one, or do two, or try for all three, or none of them. And on the in-breath, you can practice feeling love, compassion, and gratitude around you. And then on the out-breath, love, compassion, and gratitude towards yourself. And you can practice sending and receiving love, compassion, and gratitude. Great, and then from here we can set our prayers and our intentions for the day. You can take a special moment for someone that you know that is struggling and send them a prayer and a positive intent. Great. May this work that we do transform our life, offering up blessings and healing and ripple out into the community. Amen. Great. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.